You're listening to Code Red with Secure America Now, the largest national security grassroots army.
Do you feel safer in Joe Biden's America?
No,
No. Why?
because he has devalued our military and stripped them, of needed funds, and what he's done with the vaccine mandates, he's really crippled our military. And President Trump absolutely empowered them and strengthened them.
What are your thoughts about the terrorist attack that happened in Israel? How do you think that affects America, or how do you feel as an American, knowing that the borders are wide open and terrorists
Absolutely vulnerable, and biblically speaking, it's horrible. We should be supporting Israel. This is our Israeli. She actually lived in Israel, so she's the Israeli expert, I would say. But
yeah.
I think it was horrible. As a Christian, I think it was horrible, and it scares me for me, my family, and our nation that we are vulnerable now. It's like President Trump. It's not a matter, I don't think, of when. It's not if. It's a matter of when.
Yeah. Some FBI officials are saying the next 9/11 is near. Yeah. Like, what are your thoughts when you hear that as an American? Like, how does that affect your daily life?
It scares me. It really does. It scares me.
So,
Be prepared.
yeah. How do you think, looking ahead to November and looking back at when President Trump was president, what are the stakes here? Like, with heightened terror alerts, what decision should people make in November, and why?
It's win or lose our country. It's Trump or nothing. I think we're at that point. America's, look what's happened last 3.5 years, how they have devalued and just desecrated America. And if Trump doesn't win, there's no coming back.
Yeah.
No coming back. Yeah.
A question we get a lot is like, why should America stand with Israel?
I will bless those that bless you and curse those that curse you. And through you, all the nations of the earth will be blessed.
So when you see Joe Biden like lifting sanctions on Iran and lifting terrorist designations for the Houthis, like, what is that, as someone, were you born in Israel, or you?
No, I was born in Israel, but I lived there for about 4 years. I came back in 2021. But I definitely, I support Israel's right to exist. Hamas, the Houthis, do not support Israel's right to exist. There's no way you can make any kind of an agreement or peace with people who just simply want your destruction. So, there is no solution on this side of heaven for this.
So, like, what are your thoughts on like how Joe Biden's handled it with Iran, lifting the sanctions and lifting terrorists?
He supports Iran. He absolutely is a terrorist supporter. He supports Iran. That's his whole thing. That's why he has basically been turning back the wheels on support for Israel. He has basically backtracked on all of that and doesn't want to support Israel. So it's pathetic.
His action seems to tell us that he hates America.
Yep.
He hates America, and that's so sad as an American to see a fellow American in an administration that persecutes fellow Americans. If they did this to Trump, what would they do to me? I can't fight that. What would they do to me? What would they do to you? What would they do to you? And that's scary. Very scary.
They've basically turned us over an authoritarian police state at this point, and we have to take it back. That's as Rhonda said, if we don't do it in November, I don't know. It's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a rough one.
Because I mean, these people they're chanting death to America, and we're sending them money. Like,
Insane.
it's nuts. Joe Biden's been sending a lot of money and lifting sanctions on Iran, who's responsible for the October 7th attack, and who has also said they want death to America. Like, what are your thoughts about how Joe Biden's handled that?
Well, he's doing the exact opposite of what you should do. First thing you do is you find the problem and you find the cause of the problem. You attack the cause and that fixes the problem. This one is simple. If Iran has the money, they're going to do what they always have done, and they're going to support terrorists. If we had an oil policy or an energy policy that brought the cost of oil down, Iran couldn't sell oil and make money at it. If we also sanctioned them and sanctioned countries dealing with Iran, Iran would be broke. As Donald Trump said, he almost had him at the end of his last administration, but Biden went and turned it around 100%. But it's not Biden who did it. It's Obama who did it. He's the one who controls the strings on Biden, him, Valerie Jarrett, Susan Rice. So they're the ones who want a one world government. They want to make everybody equal. And their theory is to make everybody equal, you tear down the best. How about we bring up the least. It would work the opposite and everybody would win. And that's the basic cause of this.
So final answer. What's your final answer here? Who's going to defend us from this guy? Trump or Biden?
Oh, absolutely right. It's the guy there from Braveheart 2024 who's going to defend us.
What do you have to say about that moment? How did we get there to the point where people are shooting at a former president, especially former President Trump?
Well, we got there because, well, of course, like we always had some people with deranged issues, but you have to feed them. The media feeds them. The Democrats feed them. They talk about him destroying democracy. They talk about him being Hitler. And you just feed that into someone's head who's got an issue to start with, and he's going to react. He's going to do something, and that's what happened here.
Yeah. And what do you think about President Trump's vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance? Any thoughts on that? Good pick.
It's a good pick if you look downfield because we got 12 years to deal with. Trump can only handle 4, so he's not only planning for now, he's planning for his successor for the future. So we're looking at a 12-year span of somebody with the same philosophies.
We're with Secure America Now, a national security organization. We have about 4 million followers on social media, and we're just trying to see where the American public lies on this issue.
I go with Trump. Obviously, everybody here goes with Trump, right?
Yeah. Why do you decide Trump over Biden?
Biden's so weak at Ben. I mean, that's the big thing. And I think where he got shot, a lot of young guys like you and tough guys liked his attitude compared to Biden. I mean, who would you rather have fight for you? Trump or Biden? I mean,
what are your thoughts on how Joe Biden's handled Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran? You had October 7th go down.
I mean, unbelievably, absolutely amazing. I've never seen someone be more pragmatic and brilliant and just far-sighted as far as handling issues.
When you hear that he's lifting,
It's shocking to me to hear people speak about Joe Biden's foreign policy in mocking terms. He's done such an amazing job. He's kept America out of so many wars. Yeah, okay, whatever. A few wars here and there, but this is water under the bridge. Couple 100,000 Ukrainians dead, no biggie. Couple 100,000 Russians dead, all right. Whatever. So Hamas invaded Israel, all right. What can he do about it? If I was eating ice cream, I wouldn't do anything either. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
I am so happy to see young people, Republicans at this convention. I really am. When I say young, 20, 30, it's so, to me, it's thrilling to see that.
It's different than...
It's your guys' future.
Yeah.
And your kids' future, because I'm old, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm thrilled about seeing, and everybody for Trump.
Yeah. Did you ladies have any thoughts on how Joe Biden's handled the situation in Israel and how he's handled Iran?
Joe Biden's beat Israel and abandoned the Jews. President Trump's the greatest friend Israel's ever had in the White House. Bibi Netanyahu stated that. Israel is the West's first line of defense. Jews and Christians are the last guardians of Western civilization. We must go back to our founding fathers, that our freedom and our Judeo-Christian principles were rooted in our Torah, and President Trump made the world a safer place, and for Jews and Christians and all of humanity.
Do you think the attack on October 7th would have happened if
Never.
President Trump?
Never.
Awesome. What do you guys think about Joe Biden's Iran policy and how he's been dealing with it? Yeah. Do you have any thoughts that we could share with our followers about that? How he's been sending money to them and how now they're killing innocent Jews?
Well, absolutely. I left Israel 10 days before Hamas hit them. I was in Israel. I worked the border in Texas. I went to Israel for a lot of different reasons, but I wanted to look at the security of the border. They had, to me, just really good security. I looked at their fencing. I looked at the electric fence running between the fences, and you'd get electrocuted if you got it, and the walls and everything. It looked really, really good, and I was impressed. But then Hamas came over that wall like the flying monkeys in The Wizard of Oz and did what they did. You never can have enough security. And they were able to do that because they were funded. Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran's doing it, and who in their ever-loving mind would think to give money to Iran so they can get it done? And Biden did that. That guy is a traitor to this country, and he needs to go. Get unelected. Okay, you understand where I'm going?
Yes, sir.
Unelected. Do it through the voting box. Awesome. We got tick-tail.
Thanks for listening to the Code Red Podcast. Be sure to click subscribe to stay up to date and be the first to hear about our future podcast. You can also find and subscribe to the Code Red Podcast on Podbean, Spotify, Google Play, and YouTube.